yeah.
I can't wait. So when you guys gonna put out the video? June 15th?
June 15th, man.
Nice.
Yes,
It's
sir.
dropping.
June 15th.
YouTube is gonna be on all platforms.
Take a look through my lens and you don't see. I got a dream like Dr. King, let my folks breathe.
Bars. Remember he was like, we gonna put you in one, Granny. That's what grands do.
Yeah.
Overheard Granny talking about a Benz coupe. We gon' put you in one, Granny. That's what grands do. I'll pick you up.
So when he said grands, that's what grands do, like grandkids.
Yeah,
but I'm saying
yeah.
Bentley, that's what grands, thousands.
Yeah,
that's what grands do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was like, I didn't even mean to have it like that.
Yeah, that's hard.
I'm like,
Hey,
that's bars.
Yeah, that's bars.
And so we were talking about how even in his most unconscious state, he's creating bars without thinking about it. And it's because the integrity of who you've built yourself to be when you're not thinking about it.
Right.
And it's in your daily actions on what you're eating, what you're doing. Are you earning it? Are you trying each day? Y'all have any thoughts, questions, concerns, topic of discussion you want to bring up?
I want to ask you what got you started in wanting to become self-sustained?
I feel like we live in a day and age where so many people truly aren't self-sustained and self-sufficient in their efforts, even in the littlest things, like how they approach eating food, how they approach even looking at the food they eat, right? And I wasn't taught a lot of these things, and until I became sustained in my own efforts, did I end up realizing the power of self-sustenance. And by that, I mean, like when I wrote this book, I started when I was 18, technically, finished it when I was 23 or 21, 22. I didn't know how to publish a book. Right. I didn't know how to even write a book. I didn't know what a literary agent was. I didn't know what a publicist was. I didn't know any of those things, right? Mm-hmm. But in embarking on having nobody in my family that has the connections for any of these things and having nobody in my family that had written a book before or anything like that, I had to find out how to do it on my own.
Right.
And you can take that same principle with fitness, with fighting, with nutrition, with
practically anything you do,
with my religious studies background, right? Because now I'm finishing my master's, which will be the stepping stone to my PhD. And my PhD will be in comparative religion.
Let's go.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And none of that would have happened unless I took the initiation test for myself to be sustained in my own efforts. And the way I did that was I ended up realizing, since I have nobody to help me, what do I have to help me? We all got the internet.
Right.
That motherfucking phone.
You feel me? Got God in our pocket, proverbially speaking. No blasphemous. You feel me? So how did what made me want to become self-sustained?
Yeah.
Is I ended up realizing that that's the actual superpower to anything, especially when you got the internet and you've got the ability to track down and learn from any expert of their field. And if you have the time and wherewithal, you can actually become a master of any field in a relatively faster period of time than any other human throughout all of human history. Because our parents used to have to order books from libraries and have them shipped in and read this book and cross-reference it from that. And we get to do all that within seconds on the internet.
Touch of a finger.
Touch of a finger. But at that point, it's about the quality in which you synthesize and research information. Because you can look up anything, but it's about knowing how to look things up, cross-reference it with other sources, and then come to a sound conclusion with credible information, not just random information.
Right.
Does that make sense? So I became very, I had a very potent, I want to use the word potent, child, right?
Go ahead, man.
I had a very potent urge to identify what actually made me as optimal as I became once I really finished writing the book and started doing things to match. Again, we talk about being whole, right?
Yes, sir.
When I started having actions to match my good thoughts and my good words and my good deeds were finally being able to be in sync with those two things, I was then able to realize what was the secret formula to that? What allowed me to do that?
You gotta ask yourself.
Exactly. And it was those qualities that led me to self-sustained sufficiency, essentially. And it was knowing how to research, knowing what to research, and realizing that it isn't an overnight process. And that if you know how to ask the right questions, 9 times out of 10, you'll get the right answers.
Right.
So that's kind of how I came across, especially self-sustained training. You want to know what's even crazier? You want to talk about like patterns and like the universe and all this crazy stuff?
Let us know something.
SST are the initials in my mom's name.
Hey.
Shelly Sue Thompson.
Nice.
So when I had it, the first thing she said was, "Oh my goodness, my initials." And I go, I didn't even think of that.
Hey.
What is the subconscious shit?
And what does that remind us of, Raymond? On some subconscious shit.
Earlier?
Talking grands. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, God.
So think of it like this, on some subconscious shit.
Uh-huh.
Raymond had a bar in his recent rap that he didn't even recognize was a low-key bar.
What'd he say?
And it's because on some subconscious shit, the integrity of his artistry, of his rapper artistry, was so much so in terms of the integrity on how good it was that he was able to unconsciously have bars in his bars without meaning to have bars.
Right.
And so
right.
remember he was like, bars. Remember he was like, we gonna put you in one, Granny. That's what grands do.
Yeah.
So he said grands, that's what grands do, like grandkids.
Yeah,
but I'm saying Bentley, that's what grands, thousands.
Yeah,
that's what grands do.
Yeah.
And he was like, I didn't even mean to have it like that.
That's hard.
I'm like,
Hey,
that's bars.
Yeah, that's bars.
And so we were talking about how even in his most unconscious state, he's creating bars without thinking about it. And it's because the integrity of who you've built yourself to be when you're not thinking about it.
Right.
And it's in your daily actions on what you're eating, what you're doing. Are you earning it? Are you trying each day?
Oh yeah, he's in the booth almost every day. And that's
and it speaks for itself.
It's speaking like, bro, just he's starting to find his own like style, you know, and I feel like as an artist, that's important, you know, like 'cause you don't want to just sound like everybody else.
Literally.
Like you're not gonna make it, or you know what I mean, like just taking yourself serious and trying to be, you know, wanting to be an artist, and like he's doing it. So I'm excited for the future to see where he's going.
Man, where we're all going.
The work speaks for itself. That's what's really dope to see is the work speaks for itself.
Hell yeah.
I can't wait. So when you guys gonna put out the video? June 15th?
June 15th, man.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
It's dropping.
June 15th.
YouTube is gonna be on all platforms. Tap in.
Nice. Go ahead, give you guys a shout out. Because not only do you do music, you guys both cut hair.
No, Raymond cuts hair, Rudy
You don't cut
cuts
hair
hair.
too?
Nah.
I thought you could. You don't. All right, listen.
Back in the day.
Okay,
in the
good.
day.
Don't get it twisted. I knew you cut hair though, and I know if I need a skin fade on some emergency shit, you could.
Yeah, I get you right.
And you were cut hair for a little bit though.
Yeah.
So I don't want my actual memory to be all messed up and twisted. Because you said no as if you had never cut hair, seen clippers. You seen a head before with some clippers, my
No,
boy.
for sure. For sure. It was never like none of they fades, but
Nah, but
But you had your fair share.
yeah, you had your fair share of quality work done. But yeah, go ahead, because I know you guys both not only do music, but you guys got Potent Child. You got your haircut, you got your barber stuff work going on.
Shout out The Last Hair Blender. Follow me on Instagram at The Last Hair Blender. Yeah, man. We're just trying to stay consistent on getting where we headed, which that might be either owning the shop, franchising the shop.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, first thing is getting that license.
Nice. Are you in the process of getting that right now?
Yeah, I'm in barber school right now.
Nice, my man. See, you're already doing the work, brother. You're already doing it.
Right. But I recently just got dropped out because I wasn't going. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I had to take the initiative and go back in there and talk to those folks and be like, hey, this is something I still want to pursue. And I'm not giving up on myself, whether you think I was or I wasn't. And then
how did they receive that?
Bro, those people up there at Headlines Barber Academy, they want to see people win. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's there to tear nobody down. Yeah, they got to keep the lights on. You know what I'm saying? They got to keep the heat running. But at the end of the day, they want to see people in position. You know what I mean? Shout out Headlines Barber Academy.
Hell yeah. And if you trying, that's what most people, bro. If you are actually trying, they will do what they can to help you out.
Right.
As long as you are what?
Actually
trying.
Willing to put in the work.
Willing to put in the work.
Taking those steps towards where you're going.
Right. Showing that, hey, I'm at least trying. And me showing you I'm trying hopefully will give you the indication that if you were to help me be a little bit better in your efforts, seeing that I'm trying, I guarantee you I won't let you down. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's, accountability. If you got people that you can count on, and now you got a team going, like, that's how you build an empire, of like,
right.
And especially, like, the ones that's behind you is solid, you know what I mean? Like, they're not gonna do nothing behind your back, or you know what I mean? Like, or we just all gonna be in the communication just got to be there, you know what I mean? And depends on whatever you're trying to do, but yes, sir, man. So y'all can follow me on Instagram at True Rob Jobs. That's the my personal account, and then we got Potent Child account at Potent_Child.
Go follow that right now.
Oh yeah,
yes,
sir. Follow.
Yes, sir. And then I got another brand in the works too. It's called True. Mm-hmm. And that stands for The Real Us.
The Real Us 816.
Yeah. So that one's gonna be. They're gonna be like a 2-in-1 type deal. You know what I mean? And so yeah, we're getting things working, bro. But as far as like what we want to do, as far as like how you going about your marketing, you know, or
so how are you actively doing stuff right now though to be able to put that in place? Like, are you guys going to seminars? Are you watching other or observing other brands to be able to see what they're doing so you can emulate and replicate the variables that allow them to be successful? Like, do you do, because it's going to be in you guys branching out and investing in not only yourselves, but in the brand where you'll start seeing the successes.
Right.
Like for me, let's say I want to do some public speaking shit.
Yeah.
I have to go to see other public speakers speak to see how they do it and then try to cross compare a working formula with my in the works theory with what I have that's potential. Right.
Yeah.
So are you doing anything like that on the back end? Like, are you going to business? Are you doing like business seminars? Are you learning more about businesses to where or how businesses even operate? So then you can figure out how you can even put your foot in the door and start having the effects of what Potent Child can offer from a creative standpoint when going in and meshing it with businesses.
Yeah. So right now, man, we're doing all the groundwork of trying to figure out what we are specifically after, you know, as far as like what's our value, you know, and what are we specifically trying to be doing and how we're going about that. Like, we're trying to write everything down and like have like we're on the rough draft right now, but as far as like going to like seminars and stuff, you know, I put myself into a weekend workshop. It was for real estate, you know, but it's just being in that environment of like, okay, I get to, you know, soak up this game that these people are, you know, they're giving, like, hey, I'm here for a reason. Like, so yeah, I was in that workshop, man, with my notebook, taking down all the notes, like, and man, they were like giving good game, bro. This was last summer. Right. And now,
so you're doing it.
They were talking about how the economy's about to be wrecked, you know what I mean? Because we are about to go into another recession. Like, and sure, it could be, I think it's gonna be worse than, you know, the last one. Like,
but you're saying that not having, I'm assuming, like, please mess me up if I'm talking out of pocket, but I'm assuming you're not truly you're not truly literate in terms of macroeconomics to the degree to even cross compare what happened in the last recession.
Right, I'm not, but it's just like how
a lot of people aren't. You have to be a niche motherfucker to be able to even
the times between, like, how much time it was between the last one. Like, it was usually like, I remember the speaker, he was saying like usually like every 20 years, but now we're going on to like, we've been pushing it for a few years now. It's like, it's been needing to happen, you know what I mean, type shit. And just with like, you know, the war with Russia and Ukraine and everything.
But like, do you even know what's going on over there? I don't want to get into geopolitical.
No, honestly, no, put me on.
I had a homie on here who has family in Ukraine and in Russia, and he's from Georgia, which is like a neighboring kind of in-between country that has a lot of the same geopolitical involvements as Ukraine, meaning there's a lot of people in Ukraine. The reason why the whole shit's going on is half the country, the people in the West, want to be Ukrainian, want to have their own country, and the other half in the East want to be Russian and they want to maintain the Russianness, essentially. Mm-hmm. And the ones in the East literally speak Russian. The ones in the West literally speak Ukrainian. Mm-hmm. And so there's a cultural difference between the two because half of the motherfuckers literally want to be controlled by Russia. Mm-hmm. And the other half are like, no, we want to be controlled by the European Union and by NATO. Yeah. And so there's again, it's like, did you guys know any of that?
Yeah, and I knew that. I knew that. Like,
I did.
Well, there you go. At least you learned something. So at least you know enough to have an opinion where it's founded in enough of a foundation where it's not unfounded. You know what I mean?
Right.
Which is my main thing, because I don't like talking religion or politics with people unless I know for a fact they've done their due diligence to have a coherent and actual productive conversation.
For sure.
Because even from a political standpoint, I'm not super politically savvy to confidently espouse my confident opinions and views with politics. Like I'm not. You know what I mean? And with religion.
Right.
That's just because I'm a little more well versed in it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just want to say that before we actually start like going into certain things, because it'll honestly bore the fuck out of people, especially because we're not experts in those fields.
Yeah. They're like, shut up.
Shut your ass up.